Hello, this video shows you how to apply a group by action in Python. Because we're doing it in Python, this will be at an advanced level. Okay, let's go ahead and get started then. So here's my Google Colab document for the example that we will be working with. We will again be working with the small area health insurance estimates data. This was obtained from the Census Bureau. Some of the important fields out of this data that we'll be working with is the uninsured column. This is just the number of people that are uninsured in a particular demographic group. We also will be working with the number in that group. That'll be just the number in that particular demographic group. So to compute the percent uninsured, all I need to do is get the sum for uninsured and divide by the sum of number and group. We're going to be doing this across the race category here. So we'll be looking at this particular variable as well in our group by statement. Okay, so let's go ahead and import the pandas package inside of Python. I'll be using that. Here we will be reading in the data, and I can look at the number of records and number of fields with the shape command. We have 204 records. Okay, there are 51 states, I guess, with the Washington, D.C. included. And there's 4 different race levels. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 51 times 4 gives me the 204. I have 12 fields available as well in this data. If I want to look at the first few rows of the data, I can just use the head command, and you can see here that I have the uninsured column here, which I'll be using to compute the percent uninsured. I also have the number in each group and each demographic group. And here are my race categories at the 0, 1, 2, 3 levels here that we'll be looking at. I'm going to use the dfply package in order to help me with my summaries, and my group bys, and my filters, etc. So again, that package is wonderful for the management of data. And here's the code that we're going to be using to get the percent uninsured by race. First thing I'm going to do is filter out the 0 race category, because that is all races, and I would like to do this just for races 1, 2, and 3, so white, black, and Hispanic there. I'm going to do a group by here by race category, so that'll allow me to obtain my summaries for each race. And then my summarized statement is simply the sum of the uninsured divided by the sum of number and group. Let's go ahead and look at that output, and this is what we get here. We can see that the uninsured rate for whites is about 7.5%. Again, this is across the entire United States. It's about 11.4% for black, and it's almost 20% here for Hispanics. So Hispanics have a much higher percent uninsured rate than the other races. Again, this summary was obtained by each race because of the group by statement here. Okay. All right, so let's do one more summary here. Here I'm getting the percent uninsured by race, and then I'm doing that across Medicare expansion. So I'm going to group by Medicare expansion and the race category. So I need a group by here, has 2 variables in it. And then I'm going to do my standard summary here of just the percent uninsured, which is the total of uninsured divided by the total in that group. Now the spread command actually pulls or separates, maybe is a better way to say it. It separates the Medicare expansion no and yeses into 2 separate columns. Okay, so let me show you what this summary looks like. So here I have the race categories, again, 1, 2, 3, but this column, this first column is for states that do not have Medicare expansion, and this column is for states that do have a Medicare expansion. And now this is a little easier to do kind of head-to-head comparisons here, so you can look at this value right here is for whites in states without Medicare expansion. We have about 10.5% of them being uninsured, but that drops down to under 6% if the state does have Medicare expansion. Hispanics also drop considerably there, and actually blacks do as well. So we can see that for each race, the addition of Medicare expansion has reduced the number of reduced the percentage of people that are uninsured. And that is indeed the purpose of that program. If I take out the pivot component of this, okay, what I'm going to get then is just a group by, but it's going to be grouped by 2 different variables, Medicare expansion and race category. It's a little harder to compare these percentages next to one another. So that's why I applied a pivot on the Medicare expansion variables so that they are sitting right next to one another so that I can more easily compare them in my data, in my summary table. Okay, that's how to do a group by statement in Python. Thank you.